So it looks like Kyle Kulinski has been on Fox News not just once, but yes, twice now. He goes on this show that is hosted by Leland Vitters, and he's supposed to be this moderator who brings on a conservative and a liberal. Now, he's already been on this show. David Pakman has also been on this show. Something that commonly happens on this show is it's sort of set up as like a moderator and then two sides. But what ends up really panning out is it ends up being the supposed moderator and the conservative guy ganging up on the liberal. They talk about if the left is too far and whether or not the left's agenda is palatable. And Kyle Kulinski is very well versed on the polling data when it comes to this type of stuff in recent election history. And he definitely spit some facts, man. He really does spit some facts. I thought he absolutely just fucking destroyed the other guy. I mean, the other guy was just, they were trying to cut him off too and just being like these massive assholes. But he was smart. He played the game. He didn't let himself get cut off. And he absolutely just fucking obliterated them. Check out the clip here.
If the Democrats get in, they're going to raise your taxes. You're going to have crime all over the place. You're going to have people pouring across the border. So why would that be a blue wave? I think it could be a red wave. I tell you what, really, I think it should be a red wave.
There's the prediction. President Trump last night in Ohio campaigning a special election for the House of Representatives that takes place on Tuesday. Ahead of the midterms, the president says he will be on the trail almost every day. Here to discuss, talk radio panel, Chris Stigall on the left, Kyle Kulinski on the right. You will soon learn that is not where their political positions are, but that is where they are on the television screen. All right, Chris, to you. The president seems to feel as though he's got a winning strategy here in saying that Democrats are too far to the left to be part of the mainstream for traditional crossover voters. Winning strategy?
I don't think he has to say it. I think we just have to listen to them. I mean, this chaos that you've been reporting on this weekend that went on in Portland with the ICE facility there, with candidates in New York calling ICE agents Nazis and calling for the shutdown of ICE. The Sarah Jong woman, who's now an editorial board member of the New York Times, calling out, whites and white men particularly and making some really despicable comments. I mean, they're truly unhinged in a way we've never seen. I don't think Trump has to do much heavy lifting, frankly. Let them do all the talking.
Kyle, should moderate Democrats worry about this far left push?
No, I think that the far left is actually the way for Democrats to win, believe it or not. So when you look at the polls and you look at all the substantive policy issues, the American people overwhelmingly support Medicare for all, for example. They overwhelmingly support free college. They overwhelmingly want to end the wars. So when you go issue for issue, the American people are actually with the far left. And in fact, President Trump, when he ran in 2016, stole some of those issues. He ran against the wars. He ran against the trade deals. If anything,
and Kyle, you might have a point. He also said he wasn't going to touch any of the entitlements, Social Security or Medicare. You make a good point in terms of where the Democratic Party is headed. There's a lot of Democratic socialists beginning in New York that have started to knock folks off, longtime Democrats. Tuesday's primary in Missouri, Cori Bush, Democratic socialist, taking on Lacey Clay, longtime Democratic congressman. There comes a question, though, in terms of how palatable across the board these folks are, not just in primaries. Interview with Cori Bush from about 2 weeks ago, and then we'll get your guys' reaction. Roll it. The wealthy should pay their fair share.
Yes, wealthy should pay their fair share.
What is a fair share? What percentage?
So you're saying that you're saying that they're paying their fair share is what you're saying?
No, I'm asking what percentage is a fair share?
Their fair share, the same, if a third of my money is going to taxes, then I think a third of their money should be going to taxes. It does. Well, it does.
I'm trying to understand because you realize the effective tax rate on the poor is less than it is on the rich, right?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not the poor. I'm very close to that line, but I'm not the poor.
Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class
okay. 'Cause the effective tax rate on the middle class
is less than it is on the rich, correct? Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? what fair share would you like to change the tax rate to on the wealthiest, what percentage of Americans, so it's a fair share?
So let's say the wealthy 1% could pay, let's say if they paid, let's just give them 45%.
Kyle, is that the future of the Democratic Party?
I hope it's the future of the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Jeff Bezos has over $100 billion at the same time that we have 60,000 homeless veterans in this country and 400,000 homeless Americans. And the American people, again, to go to the polls, overwhelmingly want to raise taxes on the rich, overwhelmingly want to raise taxes on Wall Street and corporations. I'm talking about 58% of Americans. So if your strategy is to defend the rich, by all means, go right ahead.
Chris, and I'm guessing you just really hope that Cori Bush is the future of the Democratic Party.
Oh, these mathematicians are brilliant. This Alicia Ocasio-Cortez before her, these are wonderful spokespeople. As I said in the open, let them keep talking. By the way, it's not like we're talking math and economics with them most of the time, although when they do, that's pretty golden. We're still talking about radical fringe stuff. Abolishing ICE, abolishing law enforcement. You know,
abolishing law enforcement. Why are you making things up? That's made up. You just made that up. Who says abolish law enforcement? Yes, you did.
Well,
you just made that up. Who said abolish law enforcement? Nobody. You did.
Excuse me. Is ICE not law enforcement?
Customs and Border Protection already protects the border. ICE was created in 2003, and by the way, there are allegations of them literally doing slavery.
Kyle,
proven in a court of law.
Fellas, one second. And Kyle, you made a point about polling. Ending ICE or abolishing ICE does not play well in polls in the heartland. That is not a popular thing in Michigan, in Ohio, and in Missouri.
That's correct, but that's because we need to make the argument. And for example, like I just referenced before I was being talked over, there are allegations of literal slavery happening at private prisons run by ICE. You're laughing. It was in the Washington Post. It's been proven. It was proven in a court of law.
Okay.
A court of law proved that there's merit.
I'm still trying to figure out how we got from there to here. We will dissect that in the post-mortem. Meantime, fellas, we got to run. It was great having you both on here.
Wow.
Look it up. I'm correct.
Great
Factually
conversation.
correct.
All right, Chris, Kyle, thank you. Appreciate it, fellas.